Forget the keynotes, forget the packed auditoriums for a second. Today, we're going deep inside the Black Hat Cybersecurity Conference. We're getting a backstage pass to the Nerve Center, the team that defends what is, well, arguably the most hostile network on the entire planet. And you know, that's not just hype. Seriously, picture it. A building jam-packed with thousands of the world's sharpest hackers, security researchers, and even government agents, all sharing the same Wi-Fi. What you'd see in just 5 minutes here would probably give the security team at a normal company a collective heart attack. This really is the ultimate hostile environment. So that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? In a place where people are literally paid to learn how to use malware and launch exploits as part of a class, how on earth do you tell the difference between a student just doing their homework and a genuinely malicious actor? How do you keep everyone safe when, technically, everyone is a potential threat? Well, the answer lies with a group called the Network Operations Center, or the NOC for short. This is the team in charge. And on paper, their mission sounds simple enough. Keep the conference and its 25,000 attendees safe and connected. But, as you can imagine, actually doing that is anything but simple, because they have to play by a very, very unique set of rules. And this brings us to a concept that is the absolute key to understanding all of this: the Black Hat Positive. Okay, so think of it this way. A Black Hat Positive is basically any activity that would get you fired instantly at your day job. You know, things like testing malware or running an exploit. On a normal network, that's a 5-alarm fire. Here, it's not just allowed. It's actually encouraged as part of the conference's whole educational mission. So the whole trick is drawing that line. On the left here, you see what's perfectly fine. A class learning how to use hacking tools like Kali Linux, or maybe practicing some exploits in a controlled training session. That's a Black Hat Positive. But then you look on the right, and that's what gets you into some serious trouble. Attacking the conference network itself, or even worse, using the conference Wi-Fi to start scanning a real government or corporate network out on the internet? Yeah, that's a hard no. And trust me, they are not messing around. This is a direct quote from the NOC team. It's what they said after they found an attendee scanning a government facility they really shouldn't have been. They'll walk right into the classroom, find the person, and have a very direct conversation. The message couldn't be clearer. Learn, but don't be an idiot. So, who are these digital guardians keeping watch over this chaos? Well, you might be surprised. It's not some single, all-powerful company. The NOC is actually this totally unique collaboration, a kind of unlikely alliance of fierce competitors who agree to put their rivalries aside for 1 week to build and run this insane network. It wasn't always like this, though. Back in the day, it was a bunch of volunteers just trying to keep things running on consumer-grade gear. But as Black Hat just exploded in size, the founders literally had to walk the vendor floor and ask the big cybersecurity companies, the very same ones competing for business right out there, if they'd be willing to team up. And kind of amazingly, they all said yes. And just to give you a sense of the scale we're talking about, look at these numbers. The NOC started out protecting about 1,500 people. Today, it's 25,000. It's gone from a few volunteers in a back room to a full-blown pop-up world-class security operations center. Now, this is so important to understand. The NOC isn't some marketing stunt. A company can't just write a check to get their gear included. Nope. To get a seat at this table, you have to bring the absolute best-in-class technology for whatever job needs doing. It's all about a promise the team has made. What you see running this network is the best the industry has to offer, period. All right, so if it's not about sponsorship, what does this best of the best tech stack actually look like? Let's pop the hood. People have called it a dream SOC, a dream security operations center. It's basically what you'd build if you had a seemingly unlimited budget. It's a perfectly integrated machine of hardware, software, and threat intelligence from some of the biggest names in the game. So let's break down the key players. You've got Arista building the physical backbone. Think of them as the roads and highways for all the data. Then there's CoreLight providing total network visibility. They're the eyes and ears, seeing every single piece of traffic. That's crucial since you can't install agents on attendees' personal devices. Cisco comes in as a specialist, analyzing suspicious files and feeding in threat intelligence. And all of that raw data from everywhere flows to the central brain, Palo Alto Networks' XCM platform, which has the massive job of putting all the pieces together. And the amount of data that brain has to deal with, it's just staggering.
Over the course of the conference, the NOC ingests and analyzes more than 5 terabytes of data, and that's coming from 14 different sources. That is an immense amount of information to sift through to find the real needles in the haystack.
But you know what's truly mind-boggling? The speed. This entire, massive, enterprise-grade network with over 50 switches and 145 wireless access points is built from the ground up in just 3 to 4 days. Then it runs for a week, and then they tear it all right back down. The efficiency is just off the charts. So the secret sauce here is how they make sense of that data tsunami. A platform like XIM acts as the single source of truth. It takes all those different logs and data feeds, stitches them together, and presents one unified picture to the human analysts. And that's a game changer because it lets them stop wasting time just hunting for data and lets them start hunting for actual threats. So, okay, what can we all learn from this pretty unique experiment? The Black Hat NOC isn't just a cool tech marvel. It's really a model for the future of cybersecurity. It teaches us some pretty powerful lessons about how to defend ourselves in what's becoming an increasingly hostile digital world. There are really 4 big takeaways here. First, collaboration has to be radical. Rivals working in their own little silos just won't cut it anymore. Integration is survival. Second, data is the new battlefield. Winning and losing depends on your ability to process it. Third, you have to use AI as an accelerator. It's really the only way to analyze all that data faster than the attackers can move. And finally, visibility is everything. It's non-negotiable. Because simply put, if you can't see it, you can't defend it. And really, this quote just sums it all up perfectly. The whole game is about speed. The attackers are getting faster and their tools are getting smarter every single day. The only way for the defenders to stay ahead is to leverage technology, especially AI, more effectively and more efficiently than the bad guys do. Which, of course, leaves us with one final and pretty critical question to think about. The Black Hat NOC is an extreme solution, for sure, built for an extreme environment. But as AI starts to supercharge attackers with capabilities we've never seen before, you have to wonder, will this kind of radical industry-wide collaboration between rivals stop being the exception and become the new necessary rule for survival?